Hey guys, it's Alicia here for another Makeup Monday on Tuesday. I know I said last week that I was hoping to get back on track and be here with an upload on Monday, but it just didn't happen. And I just don't know why. But anyway, we're sticking with Tuesday right now, and hopefully Monday we'll get back on track before you know it. One of the reasons that I might have delayed filming yesterday was because I really didn't have an idea of what to film. And just through perusing, yes. Just through perusing through Facebook, I came across a couple of people's posts about how they had reposted a meme saying that they had tried to do a smoky eye, but instead all they looked like was a panda coming home from a one-night stand. So with that visual in mind, I thought it might be a great idea to walk you guys through how to create a smoky eye look. That can be quite intimidating, especially because you generally, when you are working with a smoky eye, you tend to work with quite a few matte shades, and matte shades can be a little intimidating just because they tend not to blend out as well as something with a shimmer or a metallic. But it's totally doable. It just takes time, patience, and a lot of small or circular motions as you blend your brush. Something that's kind of important is to remember that don't try to attempt to do this if you only have like 5 minutes to do your makeup before you walk out the door, because you are going to feel stressed, you are going to get overwhelmed, and if things don't go the way that you want them to go, then you might just give up. So with all that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in closer and get started, alright? Welcome to my face! So the first thing that we're going to do, as always, is we are going to prime our eyes, and I'm using the Urban Decay Primer Potion. If you don't have this particular primer, you can use anything, any kind of eyeshadow primer that you have. You can use concealer, yes. And a pinch foundation will work. e.l.f. makes a pretty good one. There are all kinds of primers out on the market. I wouldn't recommend using a face primer per se, just because the skin of your face and the skin of your eyes are different. But you can get away with just about anything that works for you. Today, one of the things that I am going to focus on is using more drugstore brands, things that are a little more affordable. Not everybody can go out and buy an Urban Decay Naked palette or whatever. So I'm going to set my primer with a Maybelline Expert Wear, and this is in the shade Linen, and these are about $2, $3, and you can get these on sale. I think I got mine actually technically for free when Maybelline was running a $2 coupon, so I snagged these for nothing out of pocket. Always be on the look for makeup coupons. You never know what you can find. I've already said that. I have put my eyebrows on. That's something that if you find that your eye makeup is getting a little too intense, you might want to try filling in your eyebrows, just so that way they have like a little bit of, you know, they can compete a little bit. They don't get so lost. So like I said, with a smoky eye look, one of the most important things that you can do is remember that you're not going to be using a bunch of shimmer shades all over the eyelid. Shimmer shades are great for adding pops of color, to add texture and all of that jazz. But just in the same way that they add texture to the areas that you want, they bring light to them, they're also going to make anything that you put them on a little more pronounced. So we want to be careful about where we're putting that pow. So you're not going to necessarily want to put that all over the lid. So you are going to want to try to work with more matte shades. Not that you can't pull this off with a shimmer shade. I just find that it looks a little bit better if we use matte shades. Also, if you put shimmer shades all over the eyelid, especially if you have droopier eyes or you are aging like all of us are, it is going to tend to accentuate any wrinkles, fine lines, anything like that. So we don't want that to happen. We want you to look like the amazing, awesome person that you are, and not somebody that you're like, what happened there? So I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Rose in the Air palette. You can pick this up at Walmart. Target has them, Ulta has them, and it's super affordable. Walmart, they're listed at just under $5. So I'm going to take this shade right here, this transition shade right here. And you might be like, excuse me, I thought we were doing a smoky eye. Yes, we are. But one of the most important things to do when you're doing a smoky eye is you really want to build up your colors. So I'm just taking that and I'm not holding my brush on the ferrule, I'm holding it back here on the handle, and I'm just gently working that into the crease and just blending that out. Okay? So it's going to take some time. I'm just going to slowly build up the color. You can always add more color, but you can't take it away. So you can't just go in with your darkest shade. You want to work from light to dark. This is also a great way to use the technique that I covered last week, doing the faux eyeliner. This would be a great look to do that with. You can really play up the colors. I am going to try to go a little bolder than I did in that video though. So like I said, we're just going to blend that on upwards till it looks just about even. And we're going to continue to just build the colors up. So we've already taken this shade down here, and I'm just going to go to this one right here with the same brush, knocking off the extra color, and I'm just going to go right here and gently work that into the crease and bring it in towards the center of the eye a bit. The great thing about a smoky eye is that you want it to look subtle. You don't want it to look jarring. So if you're getting that
those are my friends?
Those are your friends. So if you're getting that panda bear eye look, it's because you've gone in more than likely too heavy-handed, too quickly, with too dark of a shadow. You really want to build up your colors. And the farther you hold your brush back, the more blending it's going to do on its own, because you're really giving the bristles a chance to work the way that they were meant to. Okay, so you see I kind of have it a little farther in on this side than that side. So we're just going to take it a little bit more.
Mommy!
Yeah.
Is this Coco?
Yeah. I think it's Wishes.
Oh.
Alright, so there we go. So, I'm also going to be using this NYX palette I got in my Ipsy bag. You can use anything that you have that is darker. We're not quite ready to go into this palette yet, but as you see, it's got just 3 colors, and we are going to use this dark black. So we've already put in 2 transition shades, and we're going to go into this darker brown now. And this is where people start to get scared. Alright, and we're just going to continue to go in. And I'm going to bring that down onto the lid a little bit. And as you see, it's kind of kicked back into where I haven't put anything. But don't be worried about that. It's going to be okay. I promise. Blend that up a little bit. Take it over here on the other side. So as you see, we're getting a little smokier. Like I said, one of the biggest things with a smoky eye is really in the blending. You really need to blend out your eyeshadow, and you need to not be scared to really get in there and blend. And you really can't blend it too much. But having laid all those other colors together, they're going to give a lot more dimension. They're going to give a lot more dimension, and it's not just going to look like you slapped dark eyeshadow on. So we've got that one on, and that is where we're going to leave the Wet n Wild palette, and we're going to go into the NYX one right here. And we are going to take the brown, actually. I think I'm going to do that one first, and I'm going to take, I think I'm just going to stick with the same brush. We're going to take this one, and this is more of a shimmer shade. And we're just going to dip our brush in, knock off the extra. But this shade's a little darker, and we're just going to put that right over towards the edge of the eye and blend that in. Alright, so we've taken that one, and now we're going to do the scary, I'm not going to call it a scary shade. We're not going to give it that much power. So we're going to take this black shade, and we're just going to dip our brush in too. Very lightly. Like I said, you can always add more. You can't take it away. So we're going to take that.
Is that me and Kira?
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Yes. Oh, yes. That's when we went to the park. So you're like, okay, well, nothing seems to be happening. We're going to build that up.
That's Daddy, and that's Kira, and that's Grandma, and that's all. And that's all.
And as you can see, I'm using like a fluffier blending brush. Just like this, if it will focus. Come on, you can do it, camera. I believe in you. There we are. And that is my first layer of black. Yes, that is.
Nah.
Now you can continue to build this cover. Oh my gosh, I dropped the brush. You can continue to bring this color payoff out and make it darker by just simply dipping your brush back in and going back in. But like I've said before in previous videos, you want to make sure that you're going back and doing the same thing on the other side, that you're not doing one side and getting it where you want it to be. Yes, it is.
Is that glowing?
Is it?
This.
Oh yeah. But you want to make sure that you're doing your sides equally, so that way you don't go back and go, oh, wait a second, how did I achieve that on the other side? So as I said, like, that's starting to get a little intense. So I'm going to back off the black a little bit, and I'm going to go back in with the blending brush that I used for everything else. Yeah, just a fluffy ended brush. And I'm going to go in with this brown again. And I'm going to kind of soften that up a bit. Just very gently going over where I put the black. Just so that I know that it's blended out and blended together, and everything kind of goes seamlessly together and not creating a harsh line and all of that jazz. And it is, well, it's showing on camera that there's like a little floof right there. So I'm going to go in with the brush that I used to lay down my base and just very gently brush that off. So you might be like, Alicia, you said that we were going to use shimmery shades, and we haven't really used any shimmery shades. Well, we're going to go in with this light shade right here on this palette, and we are going to take just a C brush just like this, and we're just going to dip right in there. And we're going to pack that onto the lid. Because of the way that we've laid down our other shadows and we've done a really good job of blending them, all we really kind of have to do is tap at that seam. And that's really going to blend those two areas together.
Now, is this Prince car?
Alright, and we're going to do that on the other side. And you can leave that spot blank if you like. You can go in with a different shimmer shade. You could go ahead and bring all of that black over. You don't have to lay down, you know, a lighter shade. You can do whatever you want. I do want to bring a little more light there on the inner corners. So I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to go back into the Wet n Wild palette. And I'm going to take this light shade right here at the very bottom. And I'm just going to kind of put that in the inner corners. And it kind of looks a little crazy right now. Then I'm going to take the gold shade that's in here, right here. And I'm going to pat that on top to kind of soften that up. And if you find that you're not getting the pigmentation that you would like, you can go in with your finger and tap it on. Alright, so there is our completed top lid. That's pretty smoky. It's pretty dark. So then we're going to smoke out the lower lash line. And we can use a C brush just like this. And we're going to start with this transition shade, and we're going to take our brush just like this, very pointed, kind of drag it across, tap it off, And we're just gonna, oh wait, you can't see. We're just gonna go underneath the lash line, just like this, back and forth motions. And we're kind of just setting down the base for that bottom lash line. Whew. And that does feel a little wonky. I don't really like the way that that brush is blending. So I'm going to take an angled brush just like this. These are great for doing eyeshadows or eyeliner and eyebrows and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to take that brown and just dip in real quick, tap it off. And then we're going to take that, and I forget that you can't see if I do that. We're going to take that right along the outer half. And you can take that C brush that you used before and kind of soften that up a bit. Then if you really want to smoke it out and you really want to go intensely, just take and dip into that black or your darkest shade and really go in very gently. Like I said, you can always add more. You can't take it away. So you need to be careful when you go in with things because, you know, once it's there, it's there. And if you've liked everything you've done so far and then you do that on the end, you're going to be a little upset with yourself. I would not recommend putting on foundation until you're done with your eye look when you do an intense eye look like this, just because you are going to have some fallout with the darker shadows, and if you try to rub that off while you have your foundation on, you might not be happy and end up rubbing it into your foundation and into your makeup. But since we don't have any of that stuff on, I'm just going to take a kabuki brush and just brush that off. You can just use a powder brush, whatever you have. There we go. Now, I haven't put eyeliner on. A lot of times when I wear a very smoky eye like this, I won't even bother with eyeliner on the top lash line. I'll just put on some mascara and call it a day. Other times I will. Sometimes I'll add a wing. Sometimes I'll put a dark color in the waterline. Today, I'm just going to add some mascara. I'm going to be using the Tarte Light Camera Lashes mascara. So you can vamp it up a little bit more by putting on eyeliner in the waterline. And there we go. A pretty smoky eye. You can also take your eyeliner along the top waterline, right towards the eyelashes. And that will just help to darken up your lash line. And if you have issues with kind of sparse eyelashes, you might find that helpful. So there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on my foundation and all that jazz, and I'll be right back. Alright, and as you can see, I've completed the look with some foundation and some blush and a little bit of lip color. So that is a great way to start to venture into the world of doing a smoky eye. And as you get more comfortable, you'll find yourself playing around a little bit more. Don't ever feel bad about having to wipe everything off your face. It happens even to the best of us. And hopefully that gives you some confidence so that you can move forward and start to, I don't know, do a smoky eye. Alright, I'll see you next week and hopefully you learned something. Alright, bye guys.